Hi everybody! Today's lesson is going to be on the colors of the rainbow. The way that we're going to focus on them is we're going to learn about the acronym Roy G. Biv. That's this right here. Roy G. Biv. And these letters stand for the colors of the rainbow. So R stands for red. Okay. O would stand for orange. Can you guess what Y stands for? Yellow, yes. Those of you who said yellow, that's absolutely right. Okay. What do you think G stands for? Green. Now this is actually a lighter green, but that's okay. And we have B for blue. That's pretty dark blue. That could actually be in place of I, which is indigo. So I would say if I was using these markers, I would say that this would be blue and this would be indigo. Okay? So I'm going to squeeze this in here. See, that's more blue. That's like more of a transition. And then the last letter, B, is for violet. Okay? So Roy G. Biv. Those are the colors of the rainbow. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a lesson where you're going to take this rainbow and you're going to create it and you're going to color it however you want, and then we're going to cut it up and we're going to create a design out of our pieces, okay? So I'm going to take a piece of paper. And I'm going to color a rainbow, okay? That's what I want you to do. You're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to color a rainbow. Now you can use markers or you can use crayons. I personally like to use crayons because it will go faster, okay? So you can start anywhere in your paper. So I'm going to start with using the acronym Roy G. Biv. I'm going to color red. And then what comes next? Where are you? Right here. Orange. Aren't you glad I figured that out? There we go. Next color is yellow. All right. Now, really we're doing this because because we don't have all of the art supplies at home, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find things that we can use at home to create our art. You don't have to have all the supplies that you want just to be able to create beautiful things. You can find things around your house, okay? So I'm going to move this up so that you can see it. It's not coming out right, so let me move that back. There we go, that's better. All right, next color is G, green. Okay, so I'm going to do my green. I hope that you all have been playing outside and having fun, watching. I'm sure you're watching a lot of movies. Next time you're watching a movie, see if you can find a rainbow in it. How many movies can you count that have rainbows in them? I'm thinking Trolls is one. Can you think of another one? Okay. And the next color is blue. Now, I like to make rainbows all different ways, but for time's sake, this is the easiest one. All right? So when you're making your rainbow, don't forget to mix a little bit of the color into the last color. So with what I'm doing right here is I'm taking blue, but I'm coloring a little bit of it into the green. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want any white spaces in between my colors of the rainbow. I want them all to blend together. So I'm actually going to go back over this one. And I'll go back over my red. Okay. And next is indigo. I just happen to have an indigo crayon. Now, when you're creating your rainbow, if you find that you don't have two blues what you can do to create the indigo is you can take the color blue. I'll show you. So you can take your blue and you can mix a little bit of purple in it so that you can get that darker blue. See that right there? That's sort of like indigo. I'm going to show you the difference. Here's blue, here's indigo, and I'll actually use the indigo crayon to show you what it actually looks like. So this is what it actually looks like. And you can see it looks very similar to when we mix blue and purple together. Okay? And then, let me do a little bit more of that. Now this is not the neatest. I could be doing it much neater, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you this one. Okay? And then finally, the V stands for violet. And that's what we're going to put down all down here. Now, I really like the color violet, so that's why I'm using a good bit of it. I probably could have used less, but I like it. Okay. Now, the next step is, don't forget to mix that purple into the indigo. Okay? Now the next step is we're going to take this image and we're going to cut it up. Okay? Now when you cut it up, you can cut it up however you want, and you're going to glue those pieces into a design on another paper, or you can use whatever you have. You can even use a paper plate, which would be kind of cool too. All right, so when you go to cut it, I just like to cut little strips like this. You can do wiggly waggly strips, or you can do straight strips. You can do wide strips. You can pretty much do however you want, okay? And when you go to make your image, you're probably not going to have to use all of these pieces, but I do want you to remember to use at least all the colors of the rainbow, okay? Actually, I'm kind of liking what I see here. It's like a rainbow curtain. Look at that. Whee! Okay. Now, I'm going to take these off. Because my paper is connected. Now I have this nice paper here. What should I do? Well, maybe what I might do is I might make a flower. It's springtime, why not? Why not make a flower? So the first thing I need to do is I need to map out where I'm going to put my flower. So I know that if I make a flower, I'm going to make a circle, right? And then I'm going to do a stem. And then I might make these loops around. Now, if you don't want to do that and you just want to create something on your own, you can. You can do that. Next thing you're going to use is glue. If you don't have glue, you can use tape. You can actually, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but you can take something that's sticky in your house. There's got to be something. Probably some honey, maybe. But make sure not to leave it around because then ants will come and eat your project. All right, so here is some glue. Now you can either cut your pieces or you can tear your pieces. I'm kind of liking just tearing. I think I want the center of my project to be with a darker color, so I'm just going to tear these pieces on here like this and stick them on. You can cut them however you want, tear them. Then you're going to make the petals. Now, we want the petals to look different from the center of our project, from the center of the flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these brighter red colors for the flower petals. You can see right here I use the dark colors, the cool colors for the center of the flower. But I can use these brighter colors, the warmer colors for the petals. Okay? Maybe next time if you take a walk, if you go outside, if you're able to get some fresh air and not run into anyone, look around to see if you see some flowers. Right? What kind of flowers are we seeing in the springtime? I know that tulips are springtime flowers. I know that daffodils are springtime flowers. There's a flower called hyacinth, which is like blue and purple. Looks very much like those colors. Those are around. And I used a little blue in there, but that's okay. And we're just going to keep filling up all of these. If you have some left over, it's okay. If you don't have enough left over, just make more rainbow. Not a big deal. And if you find that you've run out of your colors when you're trying to make your design, it's not a big deal. You can just make more rainbow, okay? And then turn it into whatever you want, okay? So I'm just tearing up these pieces real quick. I'm going to put these on. You see how quickly this is going? Doesn't have to be perfect, but it sure does look very festive and spring-like, and I really like that. Anything that's going to make some happiness around in the midst of being home. I can't wait until we get back to school because I miss all of you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do our last 2 petals. Now, you don't have to do a flower. You can do anything you want. You can just do a circle and fill it in. It's your art. You don't really have a lot of rules as to what you can do. I used up all my rainbow parts, so now I'm just kind of using these brighter colors. I used up all of my red and my orange and my yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and use these. That's okay. That's all right. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. There we go. So I just started getting my children to watch Trolls today, and I'm thinking that Trolls 2 is on Netflix or something, so I'm hoping to watch that soon because I really like the colors in Trolls. All right, there we go. Now the last part is the stem. So you can use one strip for the stem, which is what I'm going to do because why not? Hey, get back there. All right, and here's our stem. So what, in about 5 minutes I created a design. Some of the pieces are falling off, but you can see. So all you have to do is use the acronym Roy G. Biv to create your design. Color your rainbow. Roy, R is for red, O is for orange, Y is for yellow, G is for green, B is for blue, I is for indigo. And remember, if you don't have indigo, you can still mix blue and purple together so that you can create your own indigo. And then the last color is purple. Now, sometimes people say, can I have pink? I have pink. It's okay. You can just color pink around, whatever you want. Sure, you can use pink. You can use pink. Okay, just for quick, I'm just coloring a little pink around there so you can see my project. All right? Try to cover all of your lines if you create anything like that. But this is going to be your first project. I want you to create something using a rainbow. Color your rainbow, cut it up, and glue it onto the paper, onto another paper. If you don't have a paper, you can use a newspaper. You can use a paper plate. If you have crayons, use the crayons. If you don't have markers, it's okay. If you have paint, you can experiment with paint. You can pretty much use anything that's going to apply color. Okay? I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. I'm going to be coming up with more lessons, and I'm going to be sending them to your teachers. You're going to be getting a lesson once a week. I'm a little bit behind, so I'm going to be sending 2 lessons for this week, and we'll catch up for next week, okay? I miss you. Goodbye.